I know I'm really late to my RTX 4080 review, and that's coming later today, I promise. But first, there's something I want to show you. I think I'm the first YouTuber to actually feature this in a video. I haven't seen anybody else post it yet, but Nvidia actually sent me a limited edition RTX 4080 starter kit. They've been really hush-hush about this, and I don't know if it's gonna be available for regular consumers. It might just be a press-only thing. They didn't give me a whole lot of details. They just said that I couldn't really unbox it on camera until today, so we're really experiencing this for the first time together. Obviously, we've got the RTX 4080. What else comes included? Oh, a fire extinguisher. That's actually really useful. I hope I don't need to use this, but if I do, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Is that spray paint? What is this? Oh, burn relief spray. Wow, they put a lot of thought into this so far. This is really cool. And then we've got instant ramen, you know? Because I mean, what else can you afford to eat after buying this thing? Ooh, a spare adapter for when the first one melts. What does this say? Psalms 57. Wait, is this a Bible verse? Nvidia's getting religious on me? What is this verse? Have mercy on me, my God, have mercy on me. For in you I take refuge. I will take refuge in the shadow of your wings until the disaster has passed. You know, I was doubting them at first, but it really does seem fitting that this comes with a prayer. And I thought I saw one more thing in here. Oh, that's not nice. This is a nice frame though. Double-sided, oh, what the hell? Really? Come on, guys. Gotta hand it to Nvidia. This starter kit is awesome. I think they did a phenomenal job. And you know, however you're feeling about the RTX 4080, this just elevates that feeling, you know? But the card itself is of course the main attraction. So today we're gonna do a full-blown review. It's gonna be the most scientific, objective, and professional review I have ever done on this channel. It's gonna make Gamers Nexus look like the home shopping network.
Before we continue, special thanks to AliExpress for sponsoring this video. Black Friday deals are here. This is literally the best opportunity to get the best deals on tech items you've been eyeing all year. And AliExpress has an extensive list of awesome hardware to choose from, like the ANYCUBIC Cobra Max 3D printer. Let your imagination run wild and make endless creations with a massive building size of 400 by 400 by 450 millimeters. Experience smooth and stable operation thanks to a double thread Z-axis with moving parts, reducing printing wobbles to achieve high quality results. The Cobra Max features one button auto leveling to compensate hotbed unevenness, along with a user-friendly LCD touchscreen for easy navigation, delivering a simplified user experience to make 3D printing easier than ever. This is the first 3D printer I've ever used, so I was a little intimidated setting it up, but I put it together and started my first ever print in about 30 minutes. Needless to say, I did not expect it to be that easy. But why pay more for cool gadgets like this when AliExpress is having their Black Friday SuperDeal sale from November 24th to the 29th, letting you save up to 90% on tech products that are available for a limited time and in limited quantities. The SuperDeal sale cuts original pricing of the Cobra Max from $549 to just $470. Not to mention there will also be a flash sale that drops the price to a once-a-year offer of just $345. This is the only time when you'll find excellent deals like this one, so don't miss out. You can find all the Black Friday and flash deals by clicking the links in the description below or heading to AliExpress.com and clicking the Super Deals page. Happy holidays and happy savings to everyone.
You guys have probably already seen a dozen RTX 4080 reviews by now, so you already know that while it's super fast, it's also super expensive with a $1,200 MSRP. And for that amount of coin, you could literally build an entire gaming PC, which I did. Here it is. It's got a Ryzen 5 5600X and a Radeon RX 6800 XT with 32 gigs of DDR4. $1,200? $1,200. Actually, the gaming PC is a little bit cheaper, in fact, than what RTX 4080s are currently selling for on average, but we'll give Nvidia the benefit of the doubt for now. Today, we'll pit both of these options against each other to see which one makes more sense if you have about $1,200 to spare. I don't like to jump to conclusions before doing proper testing, but something tells me that the 4080 is gonna have a hard time keeping up without a CPU, or memory, or a motherboard, or a power supply. With a showdown like this, it can be hard to make an apples to apples comparison. So to make all of today's testing as objective as possible, both contenders were tested with the same apple. This is just a standard Honeycrisp apple running stock, and it weighs 75 grams with an MSRP of 69 cents. On that note, I think we can dive right in. So let's go ahead and kick it off with a sound test. All right, so as you guys just heard, the noise levels of the PC are actually pretty reasonable, but they just can't compete with the standalone 4080. The card is so quiet, like any thoughts of regret that you have from buying the card will sound like screams. Listen. The acoustic performance is so good, I can hear Jensen's evil laughter in the distance. It is worth noting though that these same noise levels can be achieved by simply not buying an RTX 4080. But let's dig deeper. Looking at power draw, the complete system consumed a peak of 478 watts from the wall, allowing the 4080 to bag another landslide victory, pulling just shy of 1 watt, or 0 watts to be exact. That's just insane power efficiency. Well, actually it's not, there's no power, so That's not it. But just think, with the amount you'll save on energy bills, I mean, you'll break even on a 4080 by the time Half-Life 3 comes out. Anyone who's calling this review stupid or ridiculous right now is forgetting that no unplugged 40 series card has ever melted. Personally, I actually nicknamed mine in honor of all the Ada cards that I've already fried. So this is Firestrike, and this is Combustor. Apart from using an ATX 3.0 power supply with a PCIe 5 cable, which are scarcely available right now, running the card as shown here is the best way to ensure that your house doesn't burn down. Apple is optional. It doesn't really make much of a difference. But to its credit, the RTX 4080 stayed incredibly cool in our thermal testing, never going above ambient, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's amazing what the card can do when doing nothing at all. No accompanying CPU temps to report with the 4080, because, you know, with all of our budget spent on the card, we'll have to write Santa and hope for a Christmas miracle that we get a CPU at some point. The gaming PC saw max CPU and GPU temps of 88 and 71 degrees Celsius respectively, which seems toasty in comparison to the 4080, but it does have the benefit of working. At this point in our testing, I mean, the 4080 has demonstrated the thermals, acoustics, and power consumption of a coaster, with the added benefit of acting as a coaster if you really want to maximize the value of your purchase. Perhaps Nvidia is giving us more for our money after all. Clearly, this graphics card is a revolutionary breakthrough in engineering that pushes the envelope of what's possible. As we look at our first gaming benchmark, I may have spoken too soon. This is Forza 5 at 1440p. The gaming rig pulls off an average frame rate of 110 with 1% low of 83 FPS, but the 4080 is struggling to keep pace at 0 frames per second. Apparently, not having the rest of a computer to make the card run leaves some performance on the table. This may be the first piece of evidence to suggest that spending $1,200 on a single component is a bad idea. In Doom Eternal, once again we see the system delivering highly playable frame rates here, but the 4080's inability to function keeps holding it back. It's trying so hard. Maybe it needs water cooling. So the experience on our PC was really smooth and enjoyable. But gaming on just a 4080 leaves something to be desired. I feel like users going this route are gonna have to use their imagination to get the most out of the experience. But even as I sat there pretending to play Black Hole Simulator or a POV from the inside of my wallet after buying the card, I still felt this emptiness that was as vast as the black abyss before me. But moving on, Far Cry 5 tells the same story as the rest, with the 4080 delivering lackluster performance at 0 FPS yet again. To be fair though, I have to commend the 4080 for its consistency. Plus, you can't ignore the impossibly tight groupings between its average frame rates and 1% lows. It's just chef's kiss. At the same time, I can't help but wish I got more for my money. And I think that's where we can start to wrap things up here. At 0 frames per dollar, the RTX 4080 is a hard sell at $1,200. I feel like most users are gonna find more value in a fully functional gaming PC like this one that can actually play games, run applications, and power on. The 4080 might have stood a chance today, but unfortunately high-end graphics cards like this one have gotten so expensive that most gamers who would buy this card wouldn't have any budget left over for the other parts that make a PC run, essentially making this a useless piece of metal. Or a really nice coaster. And unfortunately, it's impossible to know exactly how we got to this point. Actually, what the f am I saying? No, it's not. This chart shows the official launch price of every Nvidia 80 class card for the last 12 years. When the RTX 3080 came out in 2020, GPU prices had increased by 40% over a 10-year span since the GTX 580. That's pretty reasonable. With the RTX 4080, GPU prices have increased by 70% over the RTX 3080 in just 2 years. 40% in 10 years versus 70% in 2 years. At least Nvidia's greed and how much they're f***ing us over can be measured objectively. If you're not screaming into the void yet, you should be, because this is just gonna continue and there's no end in sight because consumers keep buying GPUs for insane prices. They're using their wallets to essentially tell Nvidia, "I love you, daddy. You're the best daddy in the world." The bright side is that last-gen GPUs are still plenty fast for most users, and they've come way down in price, so you can still afford an outstanding gaming experience without being taken to the cleaners. If you enjoyed this review, stay tuned for our follow-up piece to see what happens to the 4080's performance when we overclock the Apple. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.